1. Remarkable. Remarkable achievement. Structure. Molecular structure. Complex, complex issue. Neural network. Intricate. Intricate design. Adapt. Adapt to environment. Enhance. Enhance performance. The human brain has a remarkable ability to change its structure and function based on experience and learning. For example, taxi drivers in London develop a more complex neural response in the brain area responsible for navigation as they memorize the city's intricate road system. Unlike an ordinary person, they adapt to this challenge by enhancing their spatial processing skills. This flexibility proves that the brain is not fixed, but continuously reshapes itself through learning. 2. Equilibrium. Market equilibrium. Essential. Essential goods. Luxury. Luxury items. Fluctuate. Prices fluctuate. Transaction. Financial transaction. Scarcity. Resource scarcity. Surplus. Surplus production. The price of goods is usually determined at a market equilibrium, where supply meets demand. Essential goods like food remain in demand despite price changes, while luxury items experience fluctuations as high prices reduce transactions. If scarcity occurs, prices rise, whereas a surplus leads to lower prices. This dynamic interaction ensures that markets continuously adjust to changing economic conditions. 3. Mutation. Genetic mutation. Variation. Genetic variation. Detrimental. Detrimental effect. Beneficial. Beneficial trait. Adaptation. Evolutionary adaptation. Resilience. Biological resilience. Heredity. Heredity factor. Mutations cause genetic variation by altering the proteins produced by genes. While many mutations have detrimental effects on an organism's survival, some lead to beneficial adaptations that enhance biological resilience. For example, certain genetic mutations help species survive in extreme environments by improving their heredity traits. This balance between harmful and beneficial mutations plays a crucial role in evolution. 4. Encode. Encode information. Retrieval. Memory retrieval. Consolidate. Consolidate. Memory. Retention. Memory retention. Cognitive. Cognitive process. Schema. Cognitive schema. Storage. Data storage. The brain simplifies and encodes past experiences to optimize storage and retrieval. By consolidating important information, it enhances memory retention while making space for new knowledge. Cognitive schemas help organize stored data, allowing efficient recall and interpretation. This system ensures that learning remains adaptive and effective over time. 5. Perception. Emotional perception. Interpretation. Subjective interpretation. Bias. Cognitive bias. Subjective. Subjective reality. Intuition. Gut intuition. Construct. Construct meaning. Distort. Distort reality. Affective realism suggests that our perception of reality is shaped by emotions rather than objective facts. This means our interpretation of events is often influenced by cognitive bias and subjective intuition. As a result, emotions construct meaning and can even distort reality, making experiences feel more personal than they truly are. Understanding this concept helps us recognize how emotions shape our worldview. 6. Anticipate. Anticipate outcomes. Consistency. Mental consistency. Discrepancy. Cognitive discrepancy. Threat. Perceived threat. Adapt. Adapt to changes, process information. Stimulus. External stimulus. The brain feels secure when anticipated outcomes match reality, maintaining mental consistency. However, a discrepancy between expectations and actual events is perceived as a threat, triggering anxiety. To adapt, the brain processes new stimuli and adjusts its predictions to restore stability. This dynamic system allows us to navigate an ever-changing environment effectively. 7. Manipulate. Manipulate emotions, dissatisfaction, consumer dissatisfaction, influence, influence behavior, reinforce, reinforce desires, urge, strong urge, consumption, excessive consumption, sustain, sustain demand. Advertisements manipulate emotions by creating a sense of dissatisfaction, making people feel they lack something in their lives. This dissatisfaction influences consumer behavior, reinforcing desires, and triggering the urge to buy. However, excessive consumption does not truly satisfy fundamental needs, but instead sustains demand for more products. As a result, advertising creates a cycle where temporary fulfillment leads to continuous spending. 8. Correlation, statistical correlation, reasoning, causal reasoning, automate, automate processes, assist, assist in decision-making, complexity, problem complexity, inference, logical inference, limitation, technical limitation. Artificial intelligence excels at recognizing patterns and identifying correlations, but its causal reasoning abilities remain limited. While AI can automate processes and assist in decision-making, it struggles with complex inference tasks that require deep understanding. Due to these limitations, AI serves as a tool to support human judgment rather than replace it. As problems increase in complexity, human reasoning remains essential for accurate conclusions. 9. Regulate. Regulate metabolism. Receptor. Hormone receptor. Activate. Activate a response. Secretion. Hormone secretion. Feedback. Constructive feedback. Endocrine. Endocrine system. Maintain. Maintain balance. Hormones regulate various bodily functions by binding to specific receptors and activating responses. Their secretion is controlled through a feedback mechanism to maintain endocrine balance. If hormone levels fluctuate, the body adjusts secretion to restore stability. This precise regulation ensures that essential physiological processes function properly. 10. Reject. Reject an idea, absolute truth, interpretation, multiple interpretations, perspective, unique perspective, instability, linguistic instability, deconstruct a concept, relativism, cultural relativism. Postmodernism rejects the idea of absolute truth and embraces multiple interpretations and perspectives. It emphasizes linguistic instability, arguing that meaning is not fixed but constantly deconstructed. This philosophical approach promotes cultural relativism, encouraging a deeper understanding of diverse societies. By challenging traditional structures, postmodernism reshapes how we perceive reality. 11. Inflation. Rising inflation. Decline. Decline sharply. Currency. Currency depreciation. Adjust. Adjust settings. Interest rate. Raise interest rates. Stabilize. Stabilize market. Disrupt. Disrupt service. Inflation occurs when the value of currency declines, leading to higher prices and reduced purchasing power. As the cost of living rises, wages may increase, but this does not always keep pace with inflation. Economic policies such as adjusting interest rates are used to control inflation and stabilize the economy. However, excessive inflation can disrupt financial stability and impact global markets. 12. temperature, room temperature, substance, chemical substance, transfer, transfer data, mass, calculate mass, thermal, thermal energy, equilibrium, reach equilibrium, store, store information. Temperature measures the movement of molecules within a substance, while heat refers to the transfer of energy between objects. Even if two objects have the same temperature, the one with greater mass contains more thermal energy. Heat naturally transfers from a hotter object to a cooler one until thermal equilibrium is reached. This process explains why larger objects can store more heat despite having the same temperature as smaller ones. 13. Frequency, sound frequency, rhythm, steady rhythm, harmony, musical harmony, scale, major scale, ratio, mathematical ratio, structure, musical structure, mathematical, mathematical equation. Music is deeply connected to mathematics as it relies on frequency, rhythm, and structured ratios. Harmonic relationships in chords and musical scales follow precise mathematical ratios, creating a sense of balance and order. The structure of melodies and rhythms can be analyzed using mathematical principles, demonstrating the predictability and patterns within music. This connection explains why mathematical concepts play a crucial role in music theory and composition. 14. Tradition, cultural tradition, evolution, social evolution, agriculture, organic agriculture, modification, gradual modification, influence, cultural influence, adaptation, environmental adaptation, integration, integration of traditions. Traditions continuously evolve as societies adapt to environmental and social changes. The transition from a nomadic lifestyle to an agricultural society, for example, led to modifications in clothing, housing, and food culture. While traditions are influenced by new circumstances, useful elements are often preserved and integrated into evolving cultural practices. This process highlights how adaptation and integration shape the continuity of traditions over time. 15. Causation, direct causation, correlation, strong correlation, phenomenon, observed phenomenon, misinterpret, misinterpret data, assumption, false assumption, bias, statistical bias. Causation occurs when one event directly leads to another, requiring a clear cause and effect relationship. In contrast, correlation describes the tendency of two phenomena to occur together without proving one causes the other. Misinterpreting correlation as causation can lead to false assumptions and biases in data analysis. Understanding this distinction is crucial for accurately interpreting statistical relationships and avoiding misleading conclusions. 16. Aesthetics, study of aesthetics, perception, aesthetic perception, appreciation, deep appreciation, emotion, evoke emotion, harmony, visual harmony interpretation, subjective interpretation philosophy, philosophy of beauty. Aesthetics is the philosophical study of beauty in art and nature, exploring how people perceive and interpret it. More than just sensory pleasure, it involves deep appreciation and emotional responses to visual harmony. Since aesthetic perception is subjective, interpretations of beauty vary across cultures and individuals. This field highlights the complex relationship between emotion, philosophy, and artistic expression. 17. Objectivity, scientific objectivity. Bias. Eliminate bias. Replication. Experiment replication. Experiment. Controlled experiment. Hypothesis. Test a hypothesis. Validity. Ensure validity. Interpretation. Data interpretation. Scientific experiments must maintain objectivity, but researcher bias can influence the process. To ensure validity, replication of experiments and peer review help eliminate bias and confirm results. A well-controlled experiment tests a hypothesis under consistent conditions, reducing subjective interpretation. This rigorous approach strengthens the reliability of scientific findings. 18. Keystone. Keystone species. Ecosystem. Balanced ecosystem. Stability. Ecosystem stability. Biodiversity. Preserve biodiversity. Predator. Top predator. Extinction. Prevent extinction. Interdependence. Ecological interdependence. A keystone species plays a crucial role in maintaining ecosystem stability and biodiversity. As top predators or regulators, they control populations of other species, preventing imbalances that could lead to extinction. For example, sea otters help sustain marine ecosystems by keeping sea urchin populations in check. This ecological interdependence highlights the importance of preserving keystone species for a balanced environment. 19. Multitasking. Effective multitasking. Switch. Switch attention. Efficiency. Decrease efficiency. Performance. Task performance. Distraction. Major distraction. Maintain. Maintain balance. Cognitive. Cognitive ability. Multitasking appears to involve handling multiple tasks at once, but it is actually a rapid switching of attention. Since the human brain is designed to focus on one task at a time, constant switching decreases efficiency and task performance. Distractions caused by multitasking make it harder to maintain focus, leading to cognitive overload. This explains why multitasking is often an illusion rather than an effective way to work. 20. Realism. Social realism. Collective. Collective identity. Interaction. Social interaction. Hierarchy. Power hierarchy. Governance. Democratic governance. Structure. Social structure. Distribution. Equal distribution. Social realism argues that society is not just a collection of individuals, but an independent entity with its own structure and influence. Social interactions, power hierarchy, and governance shape how collective identities are formed and maintained. The structure of a society affects communication, decision-making, and the distribution of authority. This perspective highlights the role of institutions in maintaining social order beyond individual actions. 21. Moderate. Moderate amount. Motivation. Increase motivation. Activate. Activate system. Alertness. Maintain alertness. Adapt. Adapt to stress. Boost. Boost confidence. Resilience. Emotional resilience. Moderate stress plays a positive role by increasing motivation and enhancing problem-solving skills. It activates alertness, helping individuals prepare for challenges and adapt to changing situations. Stress can also boost performance and build emotional resilience, leading to personal growth. When managed effectively, stress becomes a powerful tool for overcoming obstacles and achieving success. 22. Sensation, tactile sensation, perception, sensory perception, interpretation, sensory interpretation, stimulus, external stimulus, texture, rough texture, spatial, spatial awareness, responsiveness, neural responsiveness. Touch is not just a spatial sensation, but a temporal experience linked to movement and interaction. When a hand remains still, the perception of an object's shape is limited, but active movement enhances sensory interpretation. By responding to external stimuli over time, the brain processes texture and structure more accurately. This highlights how tactile sensation relies on both spatial awareness and temporal responsiveness. 23. Psychological effect. Adopt a behavior, influence, social influence, conformity, social conformity, trend, fashion trend, widespread belief, perception, public perception. The bandwagon effect describes the psychological tendency for people to adopt behaviors simply because others do. Social influence and conformity drive this phenomenon, making trends more widespread as public perception shifts. For example, when a fashion brand gains popularity, more people are likely to wear it, further reinforcing its trend status. This psychological effect explains how collective behavior shapes consumer choices and cultural movements. 24. Interpretation, personal interpretation, perception, artistic perception, emotional response, aesthetic value, appreciation, art appreciation, perspective, historical perspective, subjectivity, artistic subjectivity. Art is inherently subjective, as its meaning depends on personal interpretation and perception. The same artwork can evoke different emotional responses and aesthetic appreciation based on an individual's background and perspective. This diversity of interpretation highlights the flexibility of artistic expression. Ultimately, the subjectivity of art allows for a deeper and more personal connection between the viewer and the artwork. 25. Rationalism, philosophical rationalism, logic, flawed logic, reasoning, deductive reasoning, decision, rational decision, principle, fundamental principle, evidence, empirical evidence, justify an action. Rationalism is a philosophical perspective that emphasizes logic and reasoning as the foundation for decision-making. It asserts that individuals can make rational decisions based on fundamental principles and evidence. This approach is widely applied in economics, social sciences, and ethics to justify actions and policies. By prioritizing reason over emotions, rationalism aims to achieve objective and well-founded conclusions. 26. Velocity, light velocity, relativity, theory of relativity, particle, tiny particle, constant, universal constant, electromagnetic wave, wavelength, short wavelength, transmission, signal transmission. The speed of light in a vacuum is approximately 299,792,458 m/s, making it the fastest velocity in nature. According to the theory of relativity, no particle or object can travel faster than this universal constant. Light, as an electromagnetic wave, maintains a fixed speed regardless of its wavelength or transmission medium. This principle is fundamental to modern physics and plays a crucial role in understanding space and time. 27. Resource, natural resources, contribute significantly, biodiversity conservation, sustainability, environmental sustainability, ecosystem balance, preservation, resource preservation, valuation, economic valuation. Natural resources hold both market and non-market value, contributing to the economy while supporting biodiversity and sustainability. While some resources are traded for economic gain, others provide ecological benefits, such as maintaining ecosystem balance and environmental preservation. The valuation of resources should consider not only their direct financial worth, but also their long-term ecological and social impact. Recognizing these non-market values is essential for promoting sustainable resource management. 28. Tourism, mass tourism, environmental impact, congestion, traffic congestion, sustainability, tourism sustainability, heritage, cultural heritage, Restrict. Restrict access. Preservation. Heritage preservation. Over-tourism occurs when excessive numbers of tourists overcrowd a destination, leading to environmental damage and social conflicts. This phenomenon increases congestion and threatens the sustainability of cultural heritage and natural sites. To mitigate its impact, measures such as restricting visitor numbers and promoting eco-friendly travel are essential. Effective preservation strategies help balance tourism benefits with the need for long-term environmental and cultural protection. 29. Unconscious. Unconscious reaction. Instinct. Survival instinct. Mimic. Mimic behavior. Bonding. Emotional bonding. Imitation. Imitation learning. Synchronization. Social synchronization. Cognitive. Cognitive development. Humans have an unconscious instinct to mimic the behaviors of others, which plays a crucial role in social bonding and learning. This imitation process helps synchronize interactions, strengthening emotional connections within groups. Through social synchronization, individuals develop cognitive skills and adapt to their environments more effectively. Such an innate matching drive highlights the importance of imitation in human development and communication. 30. Coexistence. Peaceful coexistence. Acceptance. Acceptance of differences. Tolerance. Social tolerance. Integration. Cultural integration. Ethnicity. Ethnicity group. Discrimination. Racial discrimination. Diversity. Cultural diversity. Multiculturalism promotes the coexistence of diverse cultural backgrounds by encouraging mutual respect and acceptance. It emphasizes social tolerance and integration, ensuring equal opportunities for all ethnic groups. By reducing discrimination and fostering cultural diversity, societies become more inclusive and harmonious. This approach highlights the importance of embracing differences to create a more equitable and united community. 31. Psychological. Psychological effect. Statistics. Advanced statistics. Analyze data. Hypothesis. Test hypothesis. Reliability. Ensure reliability. Correlation. Positive correlation. Validity. Test the validity. Psychological statistics is a field that collects and analyzes data to understand human behavior and thought processes. It involves hypothesis testing, variable measurement, and statistical methods to ensure research reliability. By identifying correlations and testing independent variables, this discipline strengthens the validity of psychological studies. Accurate data analysis enhances the scientific credibility of findings in psychology. 32. Manufacturing. Manufacturing process. Extraction. Resource extraction. Impact. Impact significantly. Depletion. Resource depletion. Consumption. Energy consumption. Efficiency. Improve efficiency. Ecological. Ecological balance. The manufacturing industry relies on natural resource extraction, but this process significantly impacts the environment. Resource depletion, industrial pollution, and energy consumption raise concerns about sustainability. To minimize environmental damage, increasing efficiency, promoting recycling, and adopting energy-saving technologies are essential. Sustainable practices ensure long-term resource availability while reducing ecological harm. 33. Inheritance. Inheritance of traits. Dominant. Dominant trait. Recessive. Recessive gene. Trait. Inherited trait. Segregation. Law of segregation. Probability. Probability of inheritance. Variation. Genetic variation. Mendel's theory of genetics explains how traits are inherited from parents to offspring through predictable patterns. His experiments with pea plants revealed the laws of segregation and independent assortment, demonstrating that dominant and recessive traits are passed down separately. Genetic inheritance follows probability, allowing for variations among individuals. Mendel's discoveries laid the foundation for modern genetics and the study of hereditary traits. 34. Capitalism. Consumer capitalism. Economic growth. Stimulate demand. Consumption, mass consumption. Financial incentive. Reinforce behavior. Cycle, economic cycle. Consumer capitalism is an economic system where consumer spending drives economic growth. Companies stimulate demand through advertisements and marketing strategies, encouraging continuous consumption. Mass consumption fuels the global economy, while financial incentives further reinforce purchasing behaviors. This cycle of demand and consumption shapes modern markets and influences societal trends. 35. History, social history, methodology, research methodology, narrative, historical narrative, perspective, historical perspective, context, cultural context, documentation, historical documentation, interpretation, historical interpretation. Microhistory is a historical methodology that focuses on small-scale studies of individuals, events, or local communities. Unlike grand historical narratives, it emphasizes personal experiences, social relationships, and cultural contexts. Through detailed documentation and interpretation, microhistory provides deeper insights into everyday life. This approach enriches historical understanding by highlighting the complexities often overlooked in large-scale histories. 36. Generality, broad generality, specificity, high specificity, conceptual framework, rigid structure, ambiguity, reduce ambiguity, adaptability, cognitive adaptability, application, practical application. Generality and specificity play crucial roles in how knowledge and concepts are applied. Excessive specificity can lead to rigid thinking, while too much generality may create ambiguity. Balancing these two allows for greater cognitive adaptability, fostering both creativity and productivity. A well-structured approach ensures that ideas remain practical while still allowing for broad application. 37. Virtual reality, manipulation, data manipulation, deception, online deception, anonymity, online anonymity, security, national security, credibility, loss of credibility, exposure to risk. The virtual world may seem free from physical dangers, but it presents risks such as data manipulation and online deception. Anonymity can be misused, leading to cybersecurity threats and a loss of credibility in digital interactions. As fake information and scams spread, ensuring security and maintaining trust in virtual spaces becomes increasingly important. Awareness and preventive measures are essential to minimize exposure to these risks. 38. Mobility, urban mobility, efficiency, fuel efficiency, sustainability efforts, accessibility, digital accessibility, infrastructure, transport infrastructure, integration, system integration, congestion, traffic congestion. Hypermobility refers to a new transportation paradigm that integrates advanced technology with urban mobility systems. Innovations such as electric vehicles, autonomous cars, and shared mobility enhance efficiency and sustainability. However, issues of accessibility and urban inequality may arise as infrastructure development does not always benefit all populations equally. Balancing technological advancement with equitable access is essential for the future of transportation. 39. Agent. Intelligent agent. Automation. Process automation. Recognition. Speech recognition. Processing. Data processing. Analysis is predictive analysis. Efficiency. Work efficiency. Adaptation. Machine adaptation. An AI agent is a software system that analyzes data and learns patterns to assist or replace human tasks. Using technologies like speech recognition and natural language processing, it enhances decision-making and improves work efficiency. AI agents are widely used across industries, automating processes and optimizing data analysis. Their ability to adapt to new environments makes them valuable tools for increasing productivity. 40. Consumerism. Ethical consumerism. Boycott. Boycott a brand. Activism. Political activism. Sustainability. Environmental sustainability. Ethics. Business ethics. Corporate. Corporate responsibility. Awareness. Consumer awareness. Political consumerism refers to consumers expressing their political opinions through purchasing decisions. By supporting ethical brands or boycotting companies, individuals advocate for issues such as environmental sustainability, human rights, and corporate responsibility. This form of activism raises consumer awareness and pressures businesses to adopt ethical practices. As a result, consumer choices influence both market trends and social change. 41. Security. Data security. Encryption. Data encryption. Firewall. Install a firewall. Authentication. User authentication. Vulnerability. Security vulnerability. Breach. Security breach. Malware. Detect malware. Computer software. Security involves protecting systems from malware, hacking, and data breaches. Encryption, firewalls, and authentication methods help to ensure data confidentiality and integrity. Addressing security vulnerabilities and implementing regular updates reduce the risk of breaches. Strong cybersecurity measures are essential for maintaining a secure and reliable computing environment. 42. Evolution. Theory of evolution. Selection. Natural selection. Species. Endangered species. Adaptation. Environmental adaptation. Inheritance. Genetic inheritance. Variation. Genetic variation. Competition. Survival competition. Charles Darwin revolutionized biology with his theory of evolution through natural selection. He proposed that species gradually change over time as they adapt to their environment, with beneficial traits being passed down through inheritance. Genetic variation and survival competition play key roles in shaping species evolution. His work remains fundamental to understanding biological adaptation and diversity. 43. Ethics. Research ethics. Integrity. Scientific integrity. Collaboration. Research collaboration. Accountability. Ethical accountability. Misconduct. Scientific misconduct. Transparency. Data transparency. Bias. Avoid bias. Scientists develop ethical values through research integrity, collaboration, and adherence to ethical guidelines. Maintaining transparency and accountability helps prevent scientific misconduct, such as data manipulation or biased reporting. Ethical responsibility ensures objectivity and credibility in research findings. By fostering a culture of integrity, scientists contribute to the advancement of knowledge and public trust in science. 44. Selection. Natural selection. Species. Endangered species. Trait. Inherited trait. Evolution. Theory of evolution. Survival. Struggle for survival. Adaptation. Environmental adaptation. Reproduction. Sexual reproduction. Natural selection is the process by which organisms best adapted to their environment survive and reproduce. Over time, favorable traits become more common within a species, leading to gradual evolutionary changes. This selection mechanism drives the survival of species and influences biodiversity. Through adaptation and reproduction, natural selection shapes the characteristics of living organisms. 45. Assume. Assume the worst. Negotiation. Successful negotiation. Perspective. Different perspective. Adopt. Adopt strategy. Maximize. Maximize profit. Resolution. Conflict resolution. Strategic. Strategic approach. Many people assume that negotiation is simply about dividing a fixed amount of resources, but it can also create value for both parties. By considering different perspectives and adopting creative strategies, negotiators can reach solutions that maximize mutual benefits. Effective negotiation is not a zero-sum game, but a process of conflict resolution and collaboration. Recognizing this broader perspective allows for more productive and strategic negotiations. 46. Probability, high probability, likelihood, strong likelihood, statistical, statistical analysis, uncertainty, reduce uncertainty, predict, predict future trends, outcome, possible outcome, rational, rational decision. The theory of probability is a mathematical framework used to analyze the likelihood of events occurring. By applying statistical methods, it helps to reduce uncertainty and predict possible outcomes in various situations. Understanding probability enables rational decision-making, especially in uncertain conditions. This field plays a crucial role in science, economics, and everyday problem-solving. 47. Reason, human reason, rationality, scientific rationality, liberty, individual liberty, equality, social equality, revolution, intellectual revolution, philosophy, political philosophy, democracy, modern democracy. The Enlightenment was a philosophical movement in 17th and 18th century Europe that sought to transform society through reason and rationality. It emphasized liberty, equality, and human rights, challenging traditional authority, and promoting intellectual revolution. The ideas of Enlightenment thinkers greatly influenced modern democracy and political philosophy. This movement laid the foundation for many social and political reforms that continue to shape societies today. 48. Script, ancient script, symbol, writing symbol, inscription, stone inscription, document, historical document, record, record history, invention, invention of writing, decode, decode ancient texts. Cuneiform script, developed by the Sumerians around 3100 BCE, is one of the earliest writing systems in history. Using wedge-shaped symbols, it was inscribed on clay tablets to record administrative documents, laws, and literary works. The invention of writing allowed civilizations to document history and manage complex societies. Decoding these inscriptions provides valuable insights into ancient cultures and their advancements. 49. Visual, visual perception, cortex, visual cortex, perception, depth perception, recognition, pattern recognition, neuron, neural network, process, process information, signal, visual signal. The brain's visual system processes information received through the eyes, allowing us to perceive the world. The visual cortex detects light and interprets shapes, colors, and motion to form a coherent image. Neurons transmit visual signals, enabling pattern recognition and depth perception. This complex processing system helps us navigate and understand our surroundings effectively. 50. Revolution, industrial revolution, mechanization, mechanization of labor, innovation, technological innovation, productivity, increased productivity, labor, labor force, urbanization, rapid urbanization, infrastructure, industrial infrastructure. The Industrial Revolution was a period of economic and social transformation from the late 18th to the 19th century. Mechanization and technological innovation dramatically increased productivity, reshaping industries and labor forces. Urbanization expanded as people moved to cities for factory jobs, leading to significant changes in infrastructure and daily life. This revolution laid the foundation for modern industrial society and global economic growth.